First things first, I just want to say I apologize for the smoke alarm sounds. It is not mine. I got to get my landlord to fix whoever it is, all right? Really sorry about that.
Welcome, comic book fans, to Gorilla Zod, the self-titled show where I will be breaking down story arcs in comic books, TV, and film. I'll do my best to cut out any filler and subplots that don't contribute to the main story in order to give you guys just the meat and potatoes and to keep these videos as short as possible. Without further ado, the first comic we will go through is Injustice Year 1. This story arc is based on the 2013 fighting game from NetherRealm Studios. And the premise of this story is something causes Superman to snap, and he essentially turns into a dictator of the world, trying to justify it as bringing the world peace, and Batman is the one appointed to bring him down. Both Batman and Superman have assembled their own separate teams to carry out their agendas. The story starts off showing us Superman and Lois Lane are expecting a baby. Superman is extremely giddy about it and even asks Batman to be the godfather. One night, the couple is hanging out and Superman is summoned to attend Supermanly duties. Lois also received a call from someone saying they have information on a councilman and they want to meet her at the docks. Lois arrives at these docks with Jimmy Olsen and Jimmy gets fatally shot almost instantly. The man who shoots him ends up being no other than the Joker, and he and Harley Quinn kidnap Lois Lane. Superman arrives only to find Jimmy's corpse and a bloodstained Joker card. He rushes to Batman and begs for his help. Batman informs the Justice League and the manhunt begins. Nobody can find her until Wonder Woman interrogates somebody at the docks who tells her Joker and Harley are in a submarine underwater with Lois. Superman immediately locates the submarine and pulls it out the water and onto the shore. He breaks through the submarine and Joker releases a fear toxin inside the cabin. Suddenly, Doomsday appears and Superman freaks out over the safety of Lois and their unborn child. He grabs a hold of Doomsday and takes him all the way out to space. Joker and Harley attempt to flee the scene but are detained by the Justice League immediately. Joker begins to talk to Batman and other members of the League, and it's revealed that inside Lois Lane is a detonator to a warhead, and if Lois Lane dies, the warhead, which is underneath Metropolis, will go off and level the city. Batman suddenly realizes that who Superman believes to be his Doomsday is really Lois Lane. Superman notices at the last second, but it is far too late. Lois dies and the warhead goes off. After the explosion, Superman rushes down to Lois and holds her. Wonder Woman comes to talk to him, and he shows us his deep grief, not only for the death of Lois, but for the citizens of Metropolis as well. He eventually gets pissed and flies out to Gotham Prison, where Batman has taken Joker to interrogate him. In the middle of the interrogation, Superman barges in and kills Joker. Sometime after this, Harley Quinn breaks out of prison. Of course, she knows that Superman has killed Joker, so she's a little bit pissed off at this. She goes on to do a typical Harley crime where Green Arrow finds her and basically arrests her. This is kind of like a filler issue in this whole storyline, but this part of the story is just a little bit important to set up what happens later down the road, alright? Anyways, Superman overhears that in Bialia, I believe the country is called, their president continues to kill his nation's people. Superman rushes over there and saves the boy from an explosion. This in turn triggers Superman, and he goes to capture the Bialian president from his palace. He intends to publicly expose him right then and there, but Wonder Woman comes and convinces him to clean up his appearance and do it the next day. He does so and orders an immediate worldwide ceasefire as well. The next thing we see is the military carrying out some sort of mission that involves a missile, a warhead of some sort, and Superman basically prevents them from carrying out that mission by averting their warhead. In retaliation, the military forms a strike team, led by Mirror Master, and their mission is to kidnap Superman's parents. Mirror Master and the strike team infiltrate the Kent's residence one night, and before Superman can arrive, the strike team lights the house on fire while Mirror Master creates an exit for the team and the Kents via the mirror dimension. Superman arrives and is able to talk to Mirror Master's reflection in the mirror dimension. Mirror Master basically tells him if he continues to intervene with the government's affairs, they're going to kill his parents. Wonder Woman rallies the members of the Justice League, at least the ones that seem to fully support Superman's new stance, and they take on the mission of helping Superman retrieve his parents. Flash suggests that they go to Central City and interrogate their criminals to find out Mirror Master's location. Each of them runs into a different villain from Central City, but it is Flash that gets Captain Cold to tell him to look in the Metropolis bar, World's End, and he'll find Mirror Master there. The heroes do find Mirror Master in this bar, and after a little bit of a scuffle, Wonder Woman uses her lasso, and Mirror Master reveals where Superman's parents are being held, which is Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. And the significance of this location is that it is the world's largest mirror. Flash tells Superman to meet him there, and when they arrive, Flash gives him Mirror Master's belt, which he uses to navigate through this mirror and rescue his parents. All while this is happening, Batman meets with the US president, or really drops in on him unexpectedly to let him know that he kind of fucked up, and they talk about what they might have to do in the future. Superman then visits Batman at the Batcave, and they have a very heated discussion, basically over their philosophies and Superman's recent actions. We then segue into Aquaman violently stopping a fleet of Japanese fishermen. Batman picks up on this disturbance and informs members of the League to make Aquaman stand down. The Justice League members on Superman's side report there, and Wonder Woman tries to talk Aquaman into falling back. In the middle of this, a soldier from Atlantis attacks Wonder Woman, which enrages her and prompts her to punch Aquaman, and this incites a brawl. Batman and Superman are still going at each other's throats when Superman is alerted to report to the scene. By the time he gets there, Aquaman is practically having his way with the Justice League members who are trying to subdue him. Superman, of course, comes through and makes Aquaman stand down by force. In retaliation to this, Aquaman commands all his armies to start attacking different cities all over the globe. Superman's response is to take himself, Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Green Lantern to Atlantis, lift it out from the bottom of the ocean, and drop it in the middle of the Sahara. Superman then has Wonder Woman negotiate the peace terms with Aquaman. After this, Superman goes to Gotham City and he publicly announces that he's going to reform the city, starting off with Arkham. Batman, Nightwing, and Robin, portrayed by Damian Wayne in this adaptation, overhear this. Batman orders them to go and stop Superman, but Damian lashes out at Batman and expresses that he believes Superman's stance in this is the right one. So Batman and Nightwing arrive at Arkham on their own. They run into Superman and his team in a room full of cells, and Damian reveals that he is officially sided with Superman. Cyborg starts opening these prison doors one by one, then Flash kidnaps and disappears with the criminals. Batman shuts Cyborg's system down, then Nightwing tries to calm everyone. While this is all going on, Green Arrow finally arrives at Arkham to admit Harley Quinn. The guard on duty asks him if he's joining the rest of the heroes that are already there, and Green Arrow decides to leave Harley Quinn with the guard to go and find out what's going on. Of course, Harley Quinn knocks the guard out and opens every cell door at the same time. A big brawl ensues, and we get to see all these heroes and villains duke it out, which is pretty awesome to see. The heroes eventually stop the villains, with Damian spewing really crazy stuff to the criminals about how, oh, you guys don't deserve help, this, that, and the third, the usual Damian Wayne stuff. Nightwing tells him to chill out, and in a fit of rage, Damian inadvertently throws one of his sticks to Nightwing's temple and kills him. Batman freaks out over this and lashes out at Damian. Some days later, Superman tracks down Catwoman and tells her about what happened at the prison. Superman then tells her to go over and console Bruce, which she eventually does, and this helps him snap out of a funk. Sometime later, the two of them meet up with the president as an official team, and the president formally asks Batman to stop Superman. Batman agrees, and he and Catwoman begin recruiting for their team. So I'm going to stop the video right there. Reason being is because this is literally the halfway point of year one in Injustice. And I think they did it so perfectly using the first half of the comic to kind of lay the groundwork for the premise of this story. Before we go on, I'd just like to say, remember, this show comes on every Friday, guaranteed. I might have some shows like throughout the week, but I'm not 100% sure on that. What I am 100% sure about is every Friday, and I'd like to do it at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern time. You're going to have a video breaking down a comic story arc. All right. Last but not least, let's go over, since we're at the halfway point of year one of this comic, and now the two teams have been clearly identified. Let's let's go over what the teams are exactly. So Superman leads the regime, and his teammates are Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Shazam, Raven, and Robin, Damian Wayne. All right. And then Batman leads the insurgency, and his teammates are the Huntress, Black Canary, Green Arrow, Captain Atom, Aquaman, Black Lightning, Batwoman, and of course the now deceased Dick Grayson. All right, so stay tuned. Also, make sure you check out my video game channel, I Game to Bring the Pain. And if you're into sports as well, check out my sports talk channel, Scan Marino. I'm going to be leaving the two links in the description. Other than that, man, what I really want to set out with this channel, not only breaking down comics for you guys and TV shows and films in a very concise manner for you guys to just digest, like on lunch breaks, on the way to work, et cetera, et cetera. But I really want to reach out to the community of like comic book connoisseurs that are here on YouTube and all over the World Wide Web, and like really build a community here, really get us to start talking about comics, start really discussing them, start discussing their like their literary elements, because I really feel like comics, in the grand scheme of things in the literary world, they're not as respected as I feel like they should be. Yeah, they have a lot of cool pictures for us to see, and we don't really get too much exposition in comics versus all the dialogue that we get. But I still feel like, especially, with the Injustice series, they really try to tell you something more than just, hey, look, these guys are wearing masks, these guys have capes, and they're just fighting for the world because they're that powerful. And I'll go into that a little more. I'm going to review each year after I'm done with them. So I'll go into that more with each year's review. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, every Friday, guaranteed, we're gonna have a new video up breaking down a new story arc in comics. All right. Other than that, thank you guys for joining me. My name is Gorilla Zod, and I will be your host for this show. Hopefully for eternity, right? Other than that, you guys take care. Have a good one. Peace.